Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically Nashville, Tennessee. And even more specifically than that, I'm in front of the Lane Motor Museum. This is a car museum, and I've been to quite a few car museums in my day, but this is supposedly a different type of car museum. It's a museum of car oddities, unusual, strange, and unique cars. So we're going to go in here and take a look. So please, follow me. Oh wow, quite the collection of cars. Always love these pin maps where guests show where they've come from. There's a United States map, and there's a world map. Looks like these old ones got filled up. I love how amazingly bulbous that looks. Yeah, check that out. That is a lot of pins on a map. And here's people just from Tennessee. So this is the photo car. This is the one car here at the museum that you're actually allowed to sit in to have your photo taken. And they even put a nifty little stand here to put your camera on. So we'll go ahead and set up our photo. This here is what's called the Gyro X. It was an experiment trying to make cars smaller and more efficient. It only has one wheel there in the front, and then looks like maybe one big wheel and two little wheels in the back. It's really cool looking. They said that apparently it had problems with stability at high speeds. But yeah, look, you can see the tire. You can see the tire there under the hood. Here's a 1929 Wind Wagon. It's actually a propeller-based car. See, it runs like a small airplane. That'd be interesting to see that cruising along. This is the 1977 Urbe Car, which looks like something from a Super Nintendo racing game. I love the weird blocky design. Apparently this was made in the 70s during the oil crisis to be an efficient car. A lot of these cars, you know, are experimental cars made to maybe improve things like gas mileage. Get those seats. Those are amazing. They look. The dashboard in there. Yeah, this is a really cool car. This is the 1985 Shale Gas Mileage Car. Again, another car designed for gas mileage, but this was actually in a competition to see what car could get the most effective gas mileage in a race. Apparently this car did very well. Ran on a very low amount of gas, but according to the sign over there, it lost due to strong winds. So the wind could affect the gas mileage. And as you sit right here, you can see they put a comfy little bath mat there to sit on. While this is probably really good at gas mileage, I would not imagine the safety rating in a head-on collision being very strong in this car. A Dymaxion 1933 prototype chassis. We push this to start. Oh, see the wheel spinning right there. Actually have a working garage here. You can see I'm working on a car back there. This is a 1967 Mini Minor Traveler. It's almost like a miniature station wagon. It said that when the Mini Cooper came out, they experimented with other types of mini cars. This is like a mini station wagon. This is really, really small. Almost down to my waist. This is a Subaru Gyro, which is pretty awesome looking. Like some sort of rocket car. Yeah, this definitely would make you feel like you were in some sort of sci-fi movie. You can see the massive engine in the back of this car. And it almost looks like it's got like a battering ram on the front. Now these over here are pedal cars. This is a car made 1935. You can see it's got like bike tires on it. This thing is like made out of 100% wood. You can see the steering wheel down there. Look down there, you can see where you would pedal the car. I guess both the driver and the passenger would help with these. Well, they sat in these canvas lawn chairs. This one's a little smaller, a little more practical style of pedal car. This here is a Dymaxion piano pedal car. It was actually made by a piano making company. Apparently they incorporated a lot of piano making techniques and skills into designing this. I guess it's almost like shaped like a blimp, and you would sit in here and steer and pedal. That's really, really interesting. This is the 1932 Helicron. This is a propeller car that's propelled by a propeller. Apparently this was discovered in the year 2000 in a barn in France. It was a custom made car, and it is, man, that is spectacular. You can see the driver would sit here, and I love like the little tiny passenger seat in the rear. Basically like a miniature airplane, but it's a car. There's some extremely tiny cars here. Yeah, look how little that is. Look at this thing right here. It's got a very interesting shape to it. Do love this bright purple color for this old-timey car. This car has no skin. Now that's a Canoe, and technically a Canoe is not a car. This is pretty cool right here. This is actually a motorized canoe, kind of a heavy-duty canoe for when paddling is just not good enough. This is a motorized sled. So this would blast you through the snow. You can actually steer that first bit of the sled with the steering wheel here with this propeller. I love all the propellers here. And just look at those chairs. Those are like patio chairs or something that you would like eat at like a bistro. It's another snow vehicle here. It's got these, it's like a car wearing skis, and again this massive propeller in the back. Oh, that looks almost like the back of like a riverboat. Maybe that would have the same function as like at the back of a riverboat would have, kicking snow back. Oh, they even have a section on bicycles. Yeah, I wish someone would pedal me around town while I take a nap in the back of their bicycle. Classic penny farthing bike before they decided to just go ahead and make the wheels the same size. This one here reminds me of Pee Wee Herman's bike. That is a bike with a giant propeller on the back. There is no way that that is a good idea. This is a Bike Friday, which was actually designed so you could take it apart and shove it in your luggage. I'm showing you what the bike looked like disassembled in a suitcase. Now it looks like this bike may have been designed so you could pack it up into like a suitcase, its own like self-contained suitcase. Now this is an 1889 era bicycle, and this here we bought separately. It's a Shaw motor kit, so you would effectively strap an engine to your own bicycle and turn it into a motorcycle. Yeah, so you see this engine has its own chain that wraps around the bicycle, so you could pedal it, or I guess crank your engine, and it would make this wheel start flying. I guess this is like a motorcycle made for two. You can ride it as a tandem bike, or you can crank the engine. It's a 1974 Electric Microcar. You can see it looks kind of just like the front half of a car. Very interesting, they had electric vehicles all the way back then. This is the 1978 Seab Flipper, a wonderful tiny little plastic car. Yeah, they have quite a collection of microcars here. I believe part of the collection came from the old microcar museum over near Athens, Georgia. Oh, look at this one. Look, driving around in a little bubble like that. They're just so cool. Love that. Heading into the motorcycle section. Look at that, a little motorcycle that folds up into a suitcase. Very convenient. Surprising number of these nifty folding motorcycles. Check out that. This is a Yike bike from 2011, electric folding motorcycle. I guess it would fold up into a little circle like that. This is a really confusing design, in my opinion. Actually, the driver sits on this motorcycle in the back, and I guess he has to try to look over top this front part that would contain the passenger. See, the person here doesn't control anything. They're just sitting there. The person behind them is pushing them, which is really odd. I mean, imagine if you're just riding alone and you just got a big thing right in your face. Now this is pure insanity. This is a big wheel, and you sit inside the wheel, and it just runs on that one wheel. Like you're in the center, and you ride. Like the motorcycle makes the wheel spin. I hope I'm explaining this, but I think you can see. How is this stable? The sign over there was saying that you have to get up to speeds of 15 miles per hour in order to get it stable. So, gosh, why? Oh, here we have an amphicar. This is literally just a car that you can drive into the water and suddenly you're in a boat. I've always wanted to go for a ride in one of these. I would really love to drive around in a lake someday. This here is another aquatic car. This is a Chevy truck that can then actually go in the water and drive around in the water. This is wonderfully ludicrous right here. This is for people who like to go water skiing but don't have a friend that can pull them in their boat. So you just have a self-propelled little tiny boat that will drag you around in the water. That is so unique. I can't believe this was only made in 2005. It's a auto canoe. So I guess you pedal it on land and then you just start canoeing once you get it into the water. This is a Dymaxion car. Just check that out. Almost shaped like a Airstream trailer, but it's a car. You can see the dashboard in there. Actually, at the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, they actually have a full Dymaxion house. Here's the Searles Mobile, the car of the future. Really interesting. I like how it's like perfectly shaped like a pill. This is the back end here, and so check out the front of the car. Yeah, love that shape. These are little rocket cars for children here. I never thought there'd be such a gray area between airplanes and cars. Apparently they have some additional cars on display here in the garage. This car here appears to be made from leather. This tiny little microcar here actually comes complete with a tiny little boat. I have no idea what any of these words mean. This car here carries a much cooler car on its back. This is a particularly interesting ambulance right there. Appreciate you guys joining me here at the Lane Motor Museum. Now you see a lot of car museums across the countries. There's different types. There's ones that show movie cars, some that show like classic cars. I think this one's really cool because they show a lot of oddities and weird cars and cars that you just wouldn't see anywhere else. So I definitely would recommend this for both car lovers and non-car lovers alike. If you'd like to see other places I've been, other museums, other roadside attractions, amusement parks, haunted houses, and other fun stuff, please check the interactive map in the description. You can see all the places I've been and make suggestions on where I should go next. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider subscribing to Patreon. A $3 or more donation will get you a postcard once a month. Also, I do sell t-shirts. I do sell smashed pennies. All that information is in the description. But until next time, this one's in the bag.